The regular season was the training arc, Cole, and now we take it into playoffs. This is where it matters. This is where you can make ESL Pro League. I'm fine. I'm joined by Cole X and McHenry. It is a blessing to be back here in the region and casting the next generation of North American talent.
Yeah, I mean, that's what this is right now here. These two teams looking to, be the upcomers, the upstarts, some good performances last season rather, and looking to continue to develop that into this season as well. And I feel like these are two great examples of that, these two teams.
Yeah, this has been a wild regular season for both of these squads, undergoing multiple different roster changes, but now they find themselves here, starting down in this lower bracket. We'll take a look at the schedule tonight. We've got a busy one going down as Nouns take on NRG on the mainstream. Party Astronauts battle it out versus Elevate, and we are taking Life's a Game versus Carpe Diem. Two squads who have really been on the grind. That's just a short way to put it.
Yeah. I mean, Lag, they are they're a local legend here in Philadelphia. They were able to win the last frag, so I actually love getting to watch these guys and actually meeting them there and seeing how well they were able to do there versus Carpe Diem, who again have been really impressive throughout this season and have been, despite all of the rough starts and if you scroll all the way back to the beginning of the season, the way that they've now been able to figure out and navigate their situations, their mini roster changes, it's been very impressive.
Yeah, able to recover, and for the most part, they've been assembling together. Let's go ahead and check out how this map veto will pan out between both these teams. We're trying to hustle on through, so apologies for the delay getting this one started, as we've got Mirage, Ancient, Vertigo, Cole. We've got a flat-out best-of-3 here.
Yeah, an exciting one, that's for sure here. I feel like out of the gates going to be seeing some exciting stuff here. I got to watch my first Vertigo earlier today, so it was very fun to watch how teams were managing and how surprised still some of these players are in terms of like some of the new angles and stuff right there. So if it does go to that decider, I'll be looking forward to seeing how things shape up there.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing to point out, though, is this Mirage pick coming through from Carpe Diem. Where on earth has this arrived from? It has been ages since this core of players have even played the map, and they're deciding to break it out in playoffs. There's been something on the stove here for Carpe Diem, that's for sure. There's a certain reason why they picked this map.
I mean, ready to cook up something. Also, maybe just trying to exploit some of the weaknesses here. Watching this Life's a Game roster kind of struggle up against all of the challenger level competition that they have been playing against throughout this entire season, and saying, hey, we're going to press on this pressure point out of the gates, even if we don't have as much comfortability on that map.
Yeah, and I think someone who is just going to press them so far, it's a player who's really been defining them. The Kadia player to watch tonight is definitely going to be Lake, standing it. I think there is this class of players right now that are just like, these guys are the next up. We have JBA and Grizz playing over there on Wildcard. Lake also joins into that conversation. I am super excited to watch this guy.
I mean, just consistency throughout the last couple of seasons. So you're 100% right here in terms of keeping your eye on and enjoying to watch this guy. It feels like he's been building more and more consistency as he continues to work throughout this roster and as he gains experience. So in terms of like explosive players onto the scene, like you said, I think this guy is going to be one of those targets that they lean on here long term. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how he performs in this playoff run.
Yeah, we'll move on to our predictions here, Cole. I think I had a lot of faith here for Life's a Game at the start of this season, but obviously, they've been taking some hits going on. I still have some faith that they can rekindle this magic, but I think the safer bet is definitely Carpe Diem tonight. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I like the enthusiasm. Again, this is a roster I think that is really willing to work hard, and I think if you're talking about introductory seasons for this squad, you couldn't have asked for a better kickoff. And so the fact that they're here in playoffs is a big deal for them. I just think with experience on the other end of the server here, that's going to be valuable as the pressure gets higher and higher because, for a Carpe Diem roster, they do have some of that experience and looking to use that up against this squad today.
Yeah, I think for Life's a Game, they're fighting for their life, and quite literally here for Carpe Diem, it is just Tuesday for these guys. As we're moving on, this map of Mirage is going to be a really interesting point to talk about here between these squads, but I have some faith. I mean, OG Wizard has still, found his form. He's really found his footing down here, at least in ECL. There's been a lot of, difficult times for up and coming North American offers. We haven't really seen anything, since a player like Wiz, even like you could maybe put Kajomo into that conversation. But OG Wizard has actually found himself in his own on this Lives of Game team.
Yeah, I agree in terms of the consistency in which he has been able to perform right now. OG Wizard has been one of the more impressive rosters, and again, watching him on land, it feels like it translates very well. But we're hopping into Mirage here, getting ready to kick things off here in the 47th playoff for ECL. Very exciting stuff for North America. And it's exciting that, again, we're seeing new talent make it into playoffs more consistently. That, for me, has been one of my favorite things here about this format, is that we do have more opportunities for some of these rosters to lock in playoff runs, and I think that's a big deal here, and that experience is going to go a long way for these players long term, so looking forward to seeing how they do.
That is something to point out, however, is, even though, it's new talent into playoffs, they do have to start into that lower bracket, right? So this is an elimination game. This is ending dead last as well, so really needing to fight for their stuff here.
Yeah, I mean, and it also compounds the pressure here. It means everything right now. You don't have a lower bracket to lean on. You're already there.
Yeah, here we go. And maybe that just makes you play just that much harder. We're going to see a little catwalk split assemble itself for Carpe Diem, but there is a stack awaiting. 3 players. Base trying to play the pressure points here. Nick struggles, though, on that initial kill. Oh, Base does actually deliver on his front. He's still fighting out from the bench side as well, able to make these great repositions, playing off of Nyx here. Out towards the back of the site, and Experative does arrive at the scene to delete Tender out of this round, and Micro will get finished off as well. That's Lice the game with the pistol.
Excellent kickoff here. As you're mentioning in the vetoes, I think Mirage is going to get so interesting fast. I don't think, Carpe Diems were exactly playing to their strengths here when it comes to, like, the veto out of the gates, which is very interesting for me. Take into this map. They're playing to Lag's weaknesses almost, right? I think more so leaning in that department.
Yeah, and I mean, it also can speak some dividends to feeling confident individually on the day as well. For Carpe Diem, I think you could just feel like you can take map control just a tad bit easier. And hey, maybe it might work. Blocks out mid. And it's some damage. Actually, running out of ammunition. OG Wizard will actually go down. We have a 2 versus 2. Is there anything more out of the pistols, though? Base will be able to clean up. I mean, that's 3 kills, though. That is not bad for Carpe Diem.
I mean, that's mission accomplished right there. Able to pluck a couple quick kills out of the gates and apply some pressure. For some reinvestments. I think that's always the end goal. Maybe get a bomb plant. It would have been the cherry on top, but no worries. It only gives you $600 nowadays anyway, so
yeah.
What does that even matter?
So just the small things actually making a big difference as well. We're just seeing more of, instead of Galil's out all the time, we're just seeing that hero AK. We do have a very aggressive stance in middle here for Lysa Game. OG Wizard gonna charge forward with Nick X backing him up, struggling on these sprays though. Nick X will entrench himself towards the top boxes, but he has extra contacts coming in from underpass, and Micro will surprise him, maybe with the second. Instead, OG Wizard will get traded out, and then Tender adds to the problems. 2 versus 4.
I feel like sticking around there for a little too long was Lag. They had taken those early fights. They were super committed. And with the delay in which they at least found the kill eventually on a Micro, it was just already too late. As soon as you talk about those underpass lurks taking place there, the round's pretty much going to unravel from that point. And you can see how free Tinder's access was in that position. So, strong stuff. And kind of getting the overextension, the overcommitment there from Lag. And it's good to be back in NA on Mirage. Right? Because those mid executes, they never end.
That's just the meta down here.
I was casting earlier with Hayes, and he was watching some of the NA Mirage, and I think it was a 13-5. The map lasted 24 minutes with no halftime break.
Oh
minutes.
my goodness. Average round length was, and that's also with, 15 seconds of probably freeze time round end. We're talking 25 seconds
There was
between
no
every
timeouts,
single
of
round.
course.
So like every round is lasting about 40 seconds. That is just ridiculous. But honestly, just a sign of how these teams play. They just want to brawl on one particular lane of the map, and if they keep meeting head to head, these rounds could go by quick. This one's going to be a save out of Lysa game. Carpe Diem kind of play the win con. There, group up, simple execute, and done. That's the first round. That's the first gun round.
Getting past someone quick and easy right there. Looking impressive to deal with the pressure out of the gates here. And at least for lag side of things, even though it doesn't work, I like that they are willing to commit to some sort of idea here. Because they had a whole lot of commitment in that fight. That's what they'll need here. Continuing to trust in the calls on a map that you've had a little bit of discomfort on throughout this season. And, well, let's run it back. Let's fly up middle again here. We'll get them the second time around. We'll see if they do have it.
This is absolute lunacy, but even more bodies being brought here. Look at the nade stack, though. Carpe Diem say, get out of middle. And, well, they do. And fire back, but then a lurk through a smoke and a double from Seb. Makes life very painful for Lysa game. Tender also making moves through smoke, and everyone caught with their backs turned. OG Wizard, he will deliver at least a kill back, and hey, the bomb is yet to be scooped on up. This round is not done. Nick X looking in towards A main, but just missing out on these kills. Bomb's heading to B.
Yeah, once again, very similar situation here. Big advantage early, and you're forced to pick up the pieces from that point forward. Wiz just walking into this bomb site, realizing that we ran into the stack initially and towards middle in A, and we actually came out on top by seeing that vent not even broken as well. That's a big confidence booster. Knowing that no one even touched the B bomb site for the CT side, and they're not even gonna be able to touch much of these saves. Micro on the way out catches, and well, Nick X is gonna hang around here for a little while. He's committed.
Yeah, we'll collect that. I think it's wild.
Two Nicks on this roster. I remember casting.
Yes. Earlier on in the season.
Yeah. Love that.
And Nick X. At least they told us to pronounce it like that, so we'll oblige.
Yeah, of course.
Also, yeah, I wanted to talk about the nade stack in middle. Like, Carpe Diem just feeling the pressure point perfectly right there. We also do just have all these backstabs coming through, too.
It's just it's Carpe Diem feeling all of the utility right there, and then consistently throwing it back in their face. So even if you wanted to turn that corner and take a fight towards top mid 4 players, you couldn't get even close to that side of the map right there, unless you wanted to take 4-8 cheese to the face. Which doesn't sound great. No one really wants to do that. Not super interesting. So I'm super impressed with that sort of protocol out of the gates in terms of punishing that mid aggression. Especially, you wouldn't expect it back to back. Maybe you would here in a certain sense, because we do love a good mid execute, but.
Definitely a bit of understanding the game plan though. From Carpe Diem, bringing this map into the pool and maybe bringing some anti-strats through. Lake making some footsteps, though, and he is not 100% safe on this off angle.
Yeah, feels a little bit overexposed on an eco, but we'll see if he gets caught. Look at him, he's keeping his mouse in the middle. Quick flicks, easy access to wherever the ecos come.
Oh.
That's efficiency.
Oh, we could be getting flanked out right now. They'll walk out from A main, but...
Oh my god.
I'm looking at my mini-map right now. Experative might just have a freebie, and...
Knifing?
Is he gonna try and knife him? Experative got him! He flying knifed him! I can't believe it!
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yes, please. Yes,
It's not gonna win him the round. I mean, it almost worked. And time running low, too. Oh, man. In playoffs, by the way.
Hey, what do you have to lose at that point? I think in his brain, he was like, should I get a little trolly? Because he was there. He was looking at the back for a little while. So he was weighing up the options. And he said, yeah, I could use the money.
Honestly, Experative, same. Anyways, moving along. Round 6. And we got a buy back in. We do get to see OG Wizards off brought into the server. Probably one of the most exciting players so far. But unfortunately, he's left to sit behind a mid-window smoke. Oh, but he's going to nade it through. OG Wizard looking for the brawl. So are the rest of Lag here out mid. Oh, as Experative does extend, Lake has got a headshot as well. And Lag it clean out middle. And Nyx, with the lone reply, goes down to 2 HP for it.
I mean, at least able to win some of these tough duels. As you can see, a couple of headshots doled out. A couple of tags landed. Ooh, close. Well, not very close, but if he knew the line.
If he got his protractor out, maybe.
Hit some
insane angles.
Some trigonometry from Roka.
Where does that come from? What? I'm missing the reference there.
Well, it's Dust 2. I feel like we've gone through this before. I gotta show you.
I think we have, but like, look, you're talking to the guy with goldfish memory. What's going on?
Yeah. You just like, you know, you can throw a little bit of side spin if you're running sideways. It's like that. He like gets it.
Oh yeah, for the long doors grenade, right?
Or for the for B. It was a crazy clip, but he says trigonometry, which I don't think is necessarily the right term he was looking for.
Okay.
But definitely one of the goated NA clips.
So that one kill is actually made like very weird.
Ooh.
OG Wizard missing that shot. So fortunate. Wiz also down to 12. Wait, I mean, oh, they're actually gonna go for this now. This was a save from Lights of Game. They were stacking up the B site. They get handed one for free. Now it's 7-1 versus 2. The big question though is, where is he in the mines? He'll clear out CT spawn, has to turn his gun back to sight. Gotta get your gun out as well, and he does for the first. But Nyx down on 2 HP, lobbing a smoke, and Seb will just barely get him. 18 HP remaining. Lysa Game almost won a round that they were saving on.
Nearly able to shut that one out there with a recovery. With how strong the start was, it looked like maybe they could fight back. Just too much damage taken in the 1v2. Seb's job made it a little easier with those low HP bars going up against it so close. The one more connection and that could have been it. It could have been a round that was saved from the brink. But again, it feels like out of the gates we're seeing how Carpe Diem prepare themselves for these mid protocols here. Any sort of re-aggression that Lag want to get away with is not allowed.
Yeah, they're gonna try it again. And it does get a couple bits and pieces down there, but towards the very end, we're kind of seeing this vicious cycle for the CT side, needing to buy, save, and, well, there's a nice headshot out of base and an untraded kill. Once again, Lag given a chance in a round they shouldn't be winning.
Doing that in the last couple. Able to actually punish some of the mid aggression that's been thrown at them on the T side. Facing a chance here. He's got a smoke, he's got a Molotov, he's got some tools to get back into this one, but can he find the shots to back it up?
Yeah. It's going to be tough. Probably in need of a pre-fire. This angle from bench is very difficult to deal with. Set on the wrong line. Oh, is able to transfer over and spray him down. Base not sharp enough. And that's Carpe Diem with 5.
Let's shut down that fifth. Mid aggression rolling through. This looks, I mean, it looks a little bit better on the eco rounds, at least in terms of the collapse, but it feels like Lag just keep on throwing numbers at the problem. That problem hasn't been solved yet, even with those snumpers. they keep on fighting you. They are super committed to the idea that they will hold on to mid, that they will keep this ground gained.
OG Wizard in that school of thought, but this angle is so risky. Look at this, Lake's lurk.
Oh, no.
Oh man, side of the scope here. There's Nick X out mid, and he could just get caught as a freebie here from Lake.
I mean, it will be eventually. They have the setup right now towards the middle, and as long as that setup is committed, Lake's gonna step out and say, "Hey, that's a freebie."
I think he's just. There's no way. Once this execute gets primed, Nick X will leave the line. Lake will start to activate, and that's a free kill.
Right. I mean, we'll see when Lake finally wants to strike. There's that connector rotate off here. And we'll. I mean, just
Give
waiting.
it a moment.
Just waiting.
Oh, but Nick X actually. They're going for the save here? Lag already? Nah, Nick X is going to return back to mid. Surely, when is Lake going to activate is a big question here. Come on, man. Eventually, you want to get around to it. Experative? Oh, will not show his back to Tender. I think Lake... Okay, now he's walking down mid, and that should just be game ending here. They have no idea. And Experative is just cooked immediately. And this should just be a save. There's no going for this for Leicester game. This round was lost from the very beginning.
I mean, there was an eventual back turn for Lake. It just took him a while to get there.
I mean, you know what? Better be safe than sorry as he tries to charge down AWP.
that smoke had some bounce on it right there. Got jumpy there. And, ooh. Nick X almost gets what could have been big opportunity right there to shut Lake down and say, hey, you always were in my scope.
HE? Oh, it just landed on his teammate.
Yeah. Traffic jam in the apartments.
Should have made those doors wider for the Americans. Sorry, I had to
squeak through, man.
That's some team damage right there. Friendly fire. My bad.
Okay. We got a title, so we're still winning.
Yeah, we're invincible at this point.
Yeah.
we got a title.
Was
one
IE
player.
Dallas the best event ever to happen? Oh, but missed shot from both. Nick X gonna be put on notice. Might be trying to give us some cold memories there.
Yeah, definitely some nerves, I feel like, from some of these players on Life's a Game. As Lake can even just maraud up Catwalk. Experative. Probably going to be needed here as Nick's under pressure. Lake always putting these power positions here. For good reason.
Like back up to his antics on the railing. Really loves to get into this position. And I gotta look to fake things out. They have some nasty spots, some nasty positionings, and we'll see how many rotates Micro can sell right now.
Oh, in the meantime, though, Lake just slithers down the ladder.
They're rotating
That's
off
the
of A
snake.
too.
And it worked. And it worked. Just the single molly out of Palace and the footsteps puts Nick X into such a difficult position. 3 players about to run him down. He needs to hit every shot, and he's just not connecting. That's going to be the bomb plant and probably the round here. As Life's a Game, going to call it.
Looking easy right there. I mean, felt like some great manipulation on the play there with Micros throwing that utility and Lake kind of catching some sort of re-aggression. All coordinated, orchestrated from opposite sides of the map into the B side collapse, in which Nick X on the secondary op. To be fair, you know, sometimes the secondary ops, they don't have the big highlight moments. Hey, sometimes they do, but that was certainly not one of them. Like you said, I think some nerves here into this playoff match definitely being felt.
You know, you don't want to let that compound on itself. Oh, as Micro also just picks up another saving player. It's just brutal out here. But, I mean, back to the point, you don't want to let this kind of thing compound on itself. You know, Nick X saying, dang, I should be hitting all of these shots, and you just go further down the rabbit hole of, you know, you just get more mad that you're missing, so you just miss even more. I don't know, channel that anger into something. I know Simple does that. At least that was one of his defining traits, is the more angry he is, the better he plays. That's not the same for everyone. OG Wizard out in the open right now, and just gonna get walked in upon. Lake has no idea what's around the edge of that smoke right now, and he'll find out. Nick X does deliver, but then Experative on the other side does not complete his kill. We got a 4-on-4.
For a second there, they were going to boost in towards window, but still patient on the uptick of this mid play. And we've got Micro taking more and more space. Oh, boy.
Oh, what? What? Was he just looking at his... what just happened?
What?
I mean, the only explanation is that he's staring at his mini-map, but...
radar?
Yeah, but, like, you have got to be locked in and focused on the radar. Either that or hitting tab to expand your mini-map. I mean, that happens to the best of us, but not like this.
Yeah, well, you can zoom out your mini-map with the console command. I don't know what happened, though. Like, yeah, I mean, that's bizarre.
Oh, he stared at him for a full-blown second.
Wow. Yeah, that's absolute insanity. I would love to know what happened right there, because it had to have been something with the mini-map or some sort of communication, like you said.
Once again,
coverage.
Oh, goodness. Once again, Lysa Gamer being given a chance. Carpe Diem have consistently battled it back. Wiz backside with an amazing flash from Tender. Will that allow for the plant? It's just going in, and there's no denial. Back into the 2 versus 2 we go. Wiz with nowhere to stand, needs to fight, and he will. Right into OG Wizard. Now leaving Tender in the 1 versus 2, playing out from jungle. His position certainly known, but he's planted for him. Problem is the kit, and a good distraction being sold there by Nyx. Lysa Kane will pick up this round.
Yeah, despite all of the best efforts of that mini-map, that distraction, very awkward in the later on that post-plant situation. Let's see this back. I don't know, man.
I don't know what is.
I'm just shocked. It almost looked like he was tabbed out. Might had I mean, no pause, so it must have just been one of those things. Minimap being checked at, and
or I think what actually happened. Sometimes we'll see what happens here. For now, we'll continue theorizing. But Nyx, did he see a knee? I'm not sure. Nyx and Nick X on defense, and that's an easy kill. We'll walk forward, be able to clean up that lure. Trying to exploit this imperfect apartment smoke, and Tender's gonna try and be the next challenger for that. Walking forward, sees the head, but Nyx has got the pre-fire back. Lysa Gamer not going to go down quietly, that's for sure.
Not at all. Go to some fight here towards the tail end. That's good to see. We'll see if they can shut down this 3v5 with some confidence. At this point here, you want to be able to save this round here in a certain sense, but not going to happen. Too many fights on too many fronts. And no overextensions really given at this point.
Yeah, just not giving him a chance. Nothing to latch onto. I mean, I can see the vision there when you see an awkward smoke tossed in towards the apartments. Just simply not enough. I think Wiz could... I mean, process of elimination, surely. There's a guy out towards the bench, and he clears him. And Carpe Diem now in with a chance, but back of the bomb planter can't finish the job, and we're back into a 2 versus 3. Make it 1. HE strikes true, and now Wiz could be overwhelmed.
He's good in the clutch, though. The special tees misses that first shot. I don't think he could afford that though. He does
Wait.
find the second. He finds the follow up.
Can he? At the back, there's no way, right? 20 HP and just getting overwhelmed somehow. He had a chance in that one.
Wow, close. All right, again, that guy so sharp when it comes to those 1v3, 1v2 situations, when it comes to dicing up those duels. A little too chaotic towards the tail end there for him to find a comfortable shot. But gave it a hell of a try. And he's having a lot of impact on this T side here. Not even always with the op, but has been recently. Securing rounds in the end. That sort of fight, it will give them one last purchase here for the last round of the half. We'll see if Lag can give us a more closely tied up scoreline here at the tail end. Give us a nice 5-7.
I think this game is a lot closer than it's the scoreline kind of. Oh no, not like this. Not like this. Missed the jump turbine. This game's been messing on all fronts, I will say. But these fakes consistently work here for Carpe Diem, reading their opponents like a book. Experative does come through on a late fleet. 4 on 5. Or anything else? No.
This fast flank can do something in between these two players, but Seb's gonna realize that pretty quickly. Finds out the hard way, and that at least opens avenues in.
But the flank is getting flanked as well, but he's ready for the flank. I can't believe it. Experative with the awareness, probably with the mid call, the communication strong, but the time maybe not here for Lysa Game. They lose another player, and that puts Experative just into an impossible situation. Once again, Lysa Gaming giving themselves chances. And so we're back. Carpe Diem up 8-4, but Life's a Game have given themselves so many chances to get into these rounds. They seized a couple of them, and that's why they have 4. I'm by Joe McCall, Extra McHenry, playoffs, and elimination on the line. What's good?
Yeah, I mean, and again, like we said, intense environment here. We're going to see a very strong first half here for Carpe Diem with that experience, with that knowledge, hopping into the second. They've got a great pistol setup right now. This close range dualies as they fly out of Palace could be perfect.
Yeah, this is... I mean, if there's any angle you want, this is it. You'll swing forward, though, and get quickly traded. Tries to jump the gun, and, well, for good reason. The rest of his team is here. An absolute swarm envelops the site. That's 4 headshots. That's a pistol.
I mean, the amount of players right there, the amount of resources from Carpe Diem... I mean, they had a vast setup, but also the quickness in which they dispatched of anyone on their screen helped out a lot in making that round so much easier. You just didn't have a lot of time to gain ground there for fear of lag. Very quick dismissal of that pistol, which is interesting. They had a lot of utility. They had like double HEs, a couple flashes. They threw a full-on execute on that pistol round, which has been more and more common recently, but they get no space off of it. Even dealing with the dualies out of the gates. Very impressive. With the run boost into the Deagle wide swing.
Oh, it might be a little late. There's a swing back, and yeah, Wit says, I don't want anything to do with that one. The pistols get some space, but no kills.
Tip-tapping away right there until the job's done. The FAMAS. We gotta chase in through underpass. We got Sweet Egos being hunted right now. The US piece is on him.
He's had enough.
Use. Oh, an extra 600.
Okay.
Nick X right there is always very valuable.
This is quite funny though for Micro. He's had enough. This FAMAS doesn't work. He just switches to the pistol and just running guns them. Removing the hassle from that. Carpe Diem up 10-4 right now. Is their map pick a bit of a surprise pick as well? That is working out really nicely for them. I think courtesy of some good game plans. I don't know what you've seen.
Yeah, Protocol's have been sharp in that first half. Feels like Lag have had a consistent game plan, and Carpe Diem have been able to punish that. Got the majority of this map so far.
Ooh,
this is interesting. A little contact out of A. There's a gap that's been slipped, and a kill that's already been taken advantage of.
Yeah, Seb missing a timing. Hates you to that smoke, though. Could do some wonders here for Lake. He'll see a player cross, not communicated over, and then he collects 2, close to a 3rd. Nick X pushing down into spawn, but able to escape off blind. He's gonna jump up and play close to the smoke. Nick X wants to find more impact. OG Wizard as well, pushing the issue. There's a headshot. Back to the 3 versus 3 is a straight brawl out of CT spawn. Here comes the swing, and then the headshots out from OG Wizard are delivering. As Nick X will also follow it up. Quad kill for OG Wizard.
They couldn't afford to let him cross right there. It was played for default. So, if you saw Carpe Diem make it on towards that bomb site in a 3v3, I think it gets infinitely more difficult. I mean, it almost becomes impossible. It would have been too strong of a position to be in. So wise for everyone to get on that line. Wise for them to ensure that there's no chance that they get across safely. And double eco territory here is going to lead Carpe Diem into a forced buy. Gonna look to keep up the intensity, but they'll have less tools than they did last round.
But they're in with the right order of the day. Yeah, Lake's starting to feel the pressure. You have a 5-7 up close. This is a good formula to try and win a round like this. See, they're hesitating as well behind the smoke. Rotates begin to arrive. The 5-7 doesn't ramp up. It does not. And instead, the sprays here from base is good enough. 1 versus 3 from Micro. Looking like he wants to give this one a try. And if they take forever to plant the bomb, he might as well.
Yeah, I mean, no kid, but that wouldn't be a problem if they keep on pausing. The question is, how much can he find out of this flank?
Oh, well, delivers on the first. He knows where the planter is as well. The last guess, or does he, is where this last one is, and well, he does find a kill on a base. Experative will eventually finish the job. Micro thought they all left, which makes sense given the circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, just ready to fade out of there. Especially if you the first pick you get is in that CT spawn position, not the bomb or anything like that. Opens up your possibilities, opens up your thoughts. Right, clutch, but we'll be denied the 1v1. We got an Eagle and a 5-7 out as tools here for Carpe Diem. So this is going to be an opportunity for Lag to get their heads back in this map here and do it pretty quickly. 3 rounds of deficit is not the end of the world.
Yeah. It's looking just like that right now with Nick X cleaning up those, and the Exner Vange up angle being taken by Micro. I don't know what to call that.
It's taken over.
We could have been
calling it Exner Vange up.
Pretty sure I heard in those play-by-play comms over at Dallas they were calling it the Exner Vange up. So don't at me.
I've been feeding it. Just all those CCT casts, all those broadcasts that I've been working every day. Every time I get Mirage, Exner Van Jump, just people don't even know where the name originated from, but it's just me feeding it through in all my broadcasts. That's what I've been casting so much for. It's just to spread the word.
For the cultural impact, I see.
Yeah. Just sprinkle it in there. No one asks questions really. They're just like, oh, okay, that's what that is now.
Yeah, because we're commentators and we are all seeing authority here. We know everything about Counter-Strike. Everything important, that is. Everything that we think is important.
That's what my season 36 I am title has given me.
Yeah.
Is that authority.
Yeah, the season 37 I am title, that means nothing.
Yeah, no one really cares about that one.
Shoutouts to my season
that on the broadcast. Waiting for here. Seb has been he's been liking this position quite a bit.
I don't though. I think he could get spotted out and quickly wallbanged.
Yeah.
And finished off, but instead he will tuck away and hope for a flashbang. He needs one, and bad. He's just tucking away. He is hoping and praying, and it might work. So many out in the open, but not on the right side of the angle. Nick X will delete him. 4 versus 5, but aggression into CT spawn. Wiz could deliver. In the back of the ABC, he gets the off angle on one, but eats a grenade and another headshot. Questions here. Flank developing, though, being watched for like a hawk by Experative. And another headshot at a base. Lights the game are back.
Yeah, I mean, with the sort of just passive nature that we're seeing this A-side play come out, Seb is not fighting. Seb is hiding in triple box for pretty much the whole round. And for me, at that point, if you're like conceding all this space, Lick's toast. You've got to get a little more forward. You've got to take more initiative from that position, or you just gotta hide back in CT spawn, which I think would make more sense with how passive he's been playing it. And, again, as we've been saying, these situations are very high pressure. Seb, while he has a little bit more experience here, he's playing very scared and nervous, it looks like, from the back of that position. So we'll see if he can turn that around here at some point, or switch it up, because those A-side holds have been catching him a couple of times in a row now, and it's allowing Lag to creep their way back into this game.
Yeah, I think Carpe Diem's game plans have been strong. The macro, the idea. But they've been missing out on some of the execution. Which, I mean, credit to Carpe Diem and the work they've been able to do, considering their lineup has been shuffled around. If you remember, Arcade parted ways with this team just about a month ago. And he was IGLing, he was leading this team through basically everything as well. He wasn't even meant to play on Unjustified Gaming back then, but then they made, I believe, 5th to 6th place in Season 46 and surprised everyone.
Yeah, with their incredible run here. Again, putting new names on the map, which is happening more and more recently with ECL, feels like. Seeing more and more new names. It's great to see.
I mean, the server's full of them. And some people may call them all, like, no-namers, but I think these players have really incredible stories that are just waiting for them. Especially for the 18-year-old OG Wizard, who is certainly powering this comeback. Okay, Nix just gets some youth name training inside of spawn, trying to transfer this Preg. Why not? And Nick X has got it. This game is now within 1.
That distance quickly here. Money's stacked up so high for this T side as well, which is great news here. When you talk about a comeback effort, that comeback now almost complete. Not only that, though, they've got cash to lean in on and still runway for some small mistakes here or there. And now that we're back into the gun rounds, we'll see if there's any big adjustments. So you said good game plan, you're missing some of that execution. As I was talking about with Seb earlier, that sort of small lack of initiative, it's been causing them a little bit towards that A side. Well, they're not going to continue to test A side in these gun rounds. They're going to switch it up here, and now they've got a slightly understaffed B side.
Yeah, Tender could be in some trouble. A little late to drop his util, but then Micro at range steps forward into another headshot. There's a double entry instead out of base. Jiggle Peak is looking good. Tender does hold his own. Is going to take some time to fall back and wait for reinforcements. We've got a 3-on-3.
Opportunity here. Good position with that AWP. OG Wizard, though, smoked off now. So somewhat nullified, and the HE dunks down as well. So an opportunity to crack this one open.
Yeah, he needs to help his teammate out here. Experative gonna tuck away, and a missed shot there, just barely. Experative, though, he does have the first headshot, but not quite the next. OG Wizard now trapped in the apartments, but he just needs to peel them off of the bomb. The HE to the smoke, is that gonna be enough? He sees him, he's got him. Wiz now, he needs the defuse, he needs to get on it, switches out to the AK. It's gonna come down to the spam here, and he finds it. OG Wizard, 18 years old, 18 kills in a 1v2.
Oh, and 1 HP right there as he fades away with his AWP. What a clutch, though, from OG Wizard. As you were mentioning here, there's so many new names here heading into the playoff scene, getting their experience and building in throughout ECL. OG Wizard, one of them. Looked so impressive. Again, just a couple months ago when I was watching him play on LAN. Was really staking his claim, using some of that experience in these high-intensity moments right there. That sort of clutch is what could just propel this team to take the lead at this point. And it very well should at this point with the purchase that we have. A Mag 7 for Micro here, UMP for Lake. They don't have the most tools. They have a man down as well.
Yeah, I thought base made a footstep. I thought they might activate off of it in the underpass. Activating just a tad too late.
Yeah, at least it's
Carpe
space and clear map control, right? So maybe that can lead to some stacks.
Yeah, but you only have so many players to scrape together when you lose that opening pick. Will 3 be enough?
Let's see. It's all about where this flank formulates as well. Does Lake choose the right target? He for a second hesitated and went towards middle to clear that out, but now he's running on this flank, getting a little bit loud.
They've taken too much time here for lag, but look who's going to clear it. Experative is going to sweep out spawn, and he'll clean up the flank. Only a dink landed out of that 5-7.
I know you're executing to the stack.
Yeah, they're going to give this one a go, though. Micro up close. Oh, the Mag 7 betrays him. And Tender jumps through, but a sick 2 kills. But immediately off headshotted by OG Wizard. It is life's a game, if you can believe it, who have just taken the lead.
Yeah,
7 rounds
CT side
in a row.
breakdown was not where I expected it to be either. I expected this to be somewhat of safe territory here as they hopped into the second half with a big lead, but pistol and the easy conversion gun rounds have not been there in the second half. They have not been able to figure out a single gun round so far. It's huge problems at this point because now you're calling in these timeouts and it feels like you're calling them out a little too late. You've already let them win a couple key clutches. It's been consistent reads here. In terms of like momentum-based calling, that's what we've been getting out of this Life's a Game roster here in terms of how they string one round off of another. Conditioning that A side earlier and then getting explosive on B when these gun rounds roll around. So what's the adjustment here for Carpe Diem? Because they need to come here and it needs to come now.
In need of that execution. And another very passive defense we're seeing here. Seb left isolated. This round is super interesting. Both teams not wanting to take any early map control, so we kind of... There's free real estate everywhere you look.
Scary way to play it here for both sides. But shows the mindset here. No one wants to make a mistake. No one wants to be the first to go down. So what's going on in their heads right now? Trying to be perfect. Also can be pure demise as the clock runs a little bit slower. But, you know, whenever you see those window and top connector smokes, a lot of players towards middle hints at a split up catwalk.
I like this from Micro, though. He could stop them, though. He's just tossing in some utility. He's got the information at 30 seconds. This is huge for the defense.
Yeah, what is the end goal here? They got to get a move on here, and they got to get moving quickly.
They've almost mollied themselves off here, Cole. That molly is going to burn valuable seconds. That's working against them. A smoke as well meets them up on towards the catwalk. Tender takes up the off angle as well. Nyx walks immediately into the guillotine. And now Micro as well can follow up. Lag have to charge into a stacked up site. They took too much time, and everything just assembled perfectly for Carpe Diem and Wiz with the finisher.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about right there. When you don't want to make a mistake, when no one wants to get any map control early, and then you have to telegraph all of your moves every step of the way up that catwalk execute. They're saying, hey, this is where we're gonna go. When 30 seconds hits and you have a top con smoke and a window smoke landing, feels pretty straightforward where the end goal is. And that's exactly where yeah, exactly. I mean, Carpe Diem, they stacked accordingly.
Yeah, I think the round just got overcooked there. I think we're hoping for a switch up in pace, hoping to run over an extended player, but Carpe Diem just stayed passive the entire round. You can see how they switch things up with full mid control established in this one, and it might cost them. As Seb stuck out towards Ticket right now, about to receive a Molly combo, and forced away. The off of Wiz doesn't connect, but Lake with the coverage, saving his teammates. One player at a time. Experative will go in for the plant, given that luxury at least, but barely any space. Lag need to keep fighting. Nick's up close. We'll find a headshot onto an Opper, and there's no trade there. OG Wizard picks another player, and Life's a Game are back in the round. Now make it a 3 versus 3. Nyx here from Tetris. Gonna be the defender of the bomb site right now. Trying to keep that explosive going. The defuse starting up, though, and he transfers it just enough for the double to keep Life's a Game. With the comeback is alive, they have the lead. They have map point.
Oh, man, Nyx able to lock that one in with a fantastic transfer just when it come through. Just when the defuse looked like it was almost guaranteed, and the last couple bullets of that spray get the job done. And Lag in a 5v3, it felt like Carpe Diem landing all the adjustments I was asking for there. You see Seb play a little bit more passive, conceding more space. In a 5v3 retake on the A side, it feels so possible, but there was something ticking in the back of Lag's mind. It was calling Nyx forward, saying, hey, you've got to make a play. And that little pick off onto the op right there was just helped out so much in containing that retake. OG Wizard able to play accordingly, and I feel like yeah, I mean they know
Nyx. Yeah, I think Nyx saw him
100%. So this is an opening pick waiting to happen. It's all about what the setup is here, and you can see reinforcements getting called over because there's no escape for Seb from this position without making noise or getting revealed. So It's only a matter of time.
Yeah, where's the pop flash? Or are they 100% sure? I'm not sure they're sure.
Yeah, they're sure. Look at this.
Oh, yeah, okay. Never mind. That was with conviction, and Wiz is dead next. 3 versus 5. Instantly make it 2. Life's a Game are about to pull off the comeback. Down 8-4. Just Micro standing in their way. 17 HP. Has to be fearless here. And, well, he just doesn't get the kill. The HE on the fadeaway, not good enough either.
Okay.
But then the kill back. And he needs Tender to come up clutch with 3 players waiting for him on the other side. That's not a chance. Life's a Game. Pull off the 8-4 comeback.
Yeah, I mean, and again, as we said, that last round, just a little early queue and no panic in this lag roster in terms of actually figuring out a way to close that one out. It was cohesion, it was T-based Counter-Strike that got them all the way through that second half there, and a clear game plan that they were able to exploit over and over again. So a tough recovery here for this squad that had to show some resistance, some ability to overcome some adversity, and that's exactly what they showed here for our first map. And that's going to be an exciting way to kick this series off, because this is a map that they've struggled with throughout the regular season all the way through.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, a really huge win as well. We thought, you know, Carpe Diem, I think they came in with an amazing game plan. I'm not going to lie. They also caught lag on a very shaky start, but OG Wizard absolutely stepping up in the second half here, Cole. And I think that was the difference maker.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more there. That second half, the clutch performance, that imagine that sort of the momentum and energy that 1v2 came through from OG Wizard as he's able to close out those kills and deliver that success there. I mean, that means the world to your team watching this player make that happen as well. From that point forward, I was pretty confident that Lag were going to use that to full effect, and they did. And so very impressive.
Yeah, we were talking about Nick X and maybe how he was, you know, having some nerves early on. I think he started to hit his stride towards the very end as well. I think everything came together for that. I mean, and we could check back into Lake. I think he was still hauling it towards the very end for his team. The Kadia player to watch tonight was Lake on this particular map. But Life's a Game able to steal an 8-4 comeback. Look at the ADR despite the, you know, 14 and 21 scoreline.
10 assists there in the mix, so he's been doing damage. He's been stepping up in that department. His lurks as well, when he was kind of influencing through middle, it felt like he was doing a great job of disrupting and being an extra influence in terms of the way that they set up rounds and how they closed it out there. So for the side of Carpe Diem, it led to a lot of success in that first half. A brilliant performance from him in that first half, and I feel like on those retakes, maybe didn't get the time to show his full form here, and that's a bit of an unfortunate position to find yourself in for a player that we know is looking and eager to multi-kill on that CT side.
Absolutely. This is one of the top players here in the region. He still shows it despite the 8-4 comeback and it was a 7-round spree that Life's a Game were able to pick up off the back of that first gun round victory. I wouldn't say Lake was cold, but I think the rest of the team definitely needed to pick up the slack there. Lake wasn't on lock. We're going to toss this one off to our second map. Up next, it's Life's a Game pick of Ancient as well. This bold call coming through from Carpe Diem did not pay off. They're going to need to pull off a reverse sweep. And so a 13-11 here from Leipzig game. They were down 10-4 as well, Cole, and they pulled it all the way back. It is going to be real difficult to pull off a reverse sweep after that crushing loss.
Yeah, it feels almost more mental than anything in some of those rounds, especially in that second half when we saw that come back slowly formulating over time there. So, frustrating one to kick things off. I mean, adding and compounding to that here, I feel like taking risk and vetoes in the playoffs is also one of those things that can be very frustrating. You see the relative weakness in terms of lag and what they're bringing to the table on Mirage. You try and exploit that. Even if you don't have like the most comforting history on this map, and you end up kind of getting punished for it. So I feel like in that sense it's going to be very difficult here for Carpe Diem to head forward in this series. But I mean, good news for them is that at least in terms of Ancient, when you talk about like individual fronts here, I feel like this is one of the maps that throughout this season so far, Carpe Diem have actually found more success on.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird scene to see that Mirage coming through. But I can understand the ability of them to read into a situation. Obviously, bringing in a new IGL here for Carpe Diem very early on, and definitely looking into their opponent. I mean, we saw early on in that map, Carpe Diem were dominating. They were up 8-4 for good reason. They kind of had good reads on the situation, but I think there was just there's a lack of cohesion between a lot of the players, and definitely a cold day out of a couple of them here for Carpe Diem. And Life's a Game, I think, really worked with the momentum. I think they're kind of like the new boy on the block here as Carpe Diem start to become more established players.
Yeah, 100%. And now they're a map up right now on a team that has a lot of that experience, that has been able to make deep runs with some of these individuals. When you talk about like the opping from Wiz, obviously he's been a player that's been able to do a whole lot more than what they're putting on display right now, and that could be a problem here. While he wasn't a big problem factor in that last map, I thought that his opping was pretty consistent. It's going to need to be even more than that here. It's going to need to be a level above that to hop into Ancient. And again, as I said, like, this is a map that throughout this season beat Nouns on it, beat Boss on it. So if you were ever to ask for an opportunity to get your head back in the game here in this series, it would be right here right now on Ancient.
Yeah, but of course that is a different day, right? And this day doesn't look too perfect. I think Seb definitely feeling a bit cold over on a couple of angles, anchoring things as well. And I think the only round they got gifted there, Cole, was just a little bit of a late call and a bit of a misread there when that 30-second cat split comes through. It was just a simple walk in the park there for Carpe Diem. I don't think those kind of things are going to happen anymore. That was the only opportunity they really got on the CT side. It has been Life's a Game who have been definitely more in the server today.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more there. And even still, when we talk about pressure and we talk about the feelings that they're under, that round right there, I thought was going to cost Lag dearly. I thought that was going to be more emblematic of what they're showing us throughout the entire the rest of that map that we saw, and that wasn't the case. They quickly responded to very decisive rounds where they had no hesitation, and that last round, especially when you talk about looking at that one back here, and if you are on the side of Carpe Diem and watching that initial mistake that kind of cascaded into the round win, it's definitely like you said, showing that some of these key pieces, especially on the CT side, which is going to be important here for Carpe Diem, are a little bit off right now, and that's not what they can afford.
Yeah, and I also just kind of want to lean back even to that first half. I think 8-4 said I actually think Life's a Game should have won so many of those rounds right there as well, Cole. So it is, I mean, that whole game could have been even a blowout if certain things went differently. But now, well, Life's a Game in the driver's seat, definitely playing the better Counter-Strike on the day. Let's move to Ancient.
Here we are. Again, you're going to have to fight back here right now. No other options with your back against the wall. Carpe Diem, you got to stand and resist. Lag are bringing to the table, and that's decisive Counter-Strike. For Carpe Diem, liking to start on that CT side, no big surprises there. But we'll see if Lag can develop another strong T side like they just showed us in that last map. They could bring it even further. As I said, man, one win and 0 wins in which happened in ECL this season so far. 0 map wins, that is, at least over the past 3 months. So Mirage has been a huge weak point for this Lag roster. They just won it, so they bring that double hit on the Ancient.
Starting off the scroll wheel, not perfect, but everything else starting to fall into place. OG Wizard does clean up on the set. That lets the bomb plan through. Lake, though, wants to say something about it. Round the site, everyone's running out of bullets. Instead, it's Wiz who just got accidented through the smoke, and now Nick's in the open, though, will eventually get finished off. How is Lake still standing? What just even happened?
Dude, Wiz just was hiding behind the smoke right there and caught a stray bullet meant for Lake. Chilled in the background and plucked out of the server. Didn't even know what hit him, but just walked away, shrugging his shoulders. At least Carpe Diem able to hold on to that round despite the chaos. And we will get to see very quickly one of those prime examples of what we talked about with that economy change. Instead of Galil's in a smoke, if you get a kill, or in a bomb plant and the likes here, it's sometimes these Mac 10s and it's way less utility. So it's still a little bit more difficult for these teams to fully get away with those contact approaches that were so effective when you have an extra flashbang, when you have an extra smoke in the mix.
Nothing. Oh, goodness. There we go. Yeah, the real deal makes it downrange. Maybe that was intentional to allow him to swing with his back to middle. I don't know. You have a force buy here from Life's a Game, and I do want to mention Carpe Diem are out of smokes at the minute 15 mark.
Many tools. Still a lot of utility on the side of Life's a Game, though. They just wait all out every last smoke. They have to deal with some forward positioning as a sacrifice, and that's never easy to get past. The mid utility, though, it's going to make life difficult.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
Micro has to make that decision to bail, and now
And
so does Seb.
Yeah, look at this. I mean, look at all of a sudden, all of the B area has been vacated. And they're about to crunch into a quite weakened site at the moment. Micro, feeling the pressure here out in the open and swung by 3 players. Seb has to try and back away, concede all the space. There's a smoke that allows for the cross. And well, where's that bomb plan? Experative will try to get it through and pray. He does. 4 versus 4. And then a lineup comes through from base. 2 headshots off the press right there as it's a quick 2 versus 4, and probably a save.
They can get out if they're afforded that much. Here, slow crawl away. Maybe that's just Wiz getting spotted on the cross out. That's guarantee. Man, I mean, that for me feels like Lag have a fundamental understanding of how to manipulate the map right there. I'll hold that thought for a second, as it's no guarantee that they walk away with a save. The hunt is in order. And every second, he had to have, right? They're now getting faster here as bomb's ticking away.
I don't think
matter too much.
Is Wiz gonna survive this? Is the big question. Around the corner, Experative. Okay.
Oh, wow. Good angle.
Wiz finds both.
Yeah, that's what I was saying right there. I mean, the late mid control that they take, forcing Micro and Seb to separate and isolate themselves here instead of playing off of that close angle that they could have out of the gates if they had any grip on that mid control. And that sort of manipulation of the map here, as soon as it's triggered, it gets the extremity B players going active here. It just felt like that was the perfect call all the way through.
And now cleanup crew here. Micro out of ammo and finished off. Life's Game are just hitting flow state right now. Oh, except for that, coming through from Wiz, the tracking immense. It's still not a good enough reason to give this a go.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to make the motion in. They're hanging about here, but they don't have the ability to wait here. Bob's getting half tick. Base has stopped watching the flank, so that opens up some chances.
Oh, and we'll get finished off. That means both players' position known, though, and with Experative in spawn, this is just going to be so darn difficult. And Nix even just stands in the molly, fearless. Lake is going down with the ship here, and Experative might as well. Same, as no one survives.
No one survives, but force buy handled here eventually by Lag. It's not the worst way to lose a force buy, but you know you're not going to keep it up here, surely. This decision has to be made to eventually call it. And this is more so where Lag can start to stabilize, find their footing, plant their feet economically speaking. And move on up to 3 rounds here very quickly. As we said, I mean, flow state and the calls right there. Not easy to handle 3 MP9s in A main, or 2 MP9s in a 5.7, but Lag handled it pretty easily. walking into a B-side stack. Spiritive.
Ooh.
He only catches 2. Well, I mean, he takes down one, but he only caught 1 more around that corner. So it doesn't really identify the stack, but it does look like it's going to be the call either way.
Yeah, just by happenstance, everyone is there. Oh, what a shot, though, out of Micro. That's actually going to keep them in the round. They are going to think about this one. Maybe it was just to sacrifice themselves in.
Could just make the effort every $600 that Tinder could get right now with that Mac 10.
Oh, don't be impatient here, Nick X. Thinking about it, nearly gets diving. Oh my goodness. Seconds away. Sam gonna run through the smoke and won't be able to collect here. Just, however, in middle. And it's a dink, but that's all. It's 3-1 here for lag.
A bit chaotic right there. Not a bad bit of damage, but once again, still handled effectively. We'll see A1S is in the mix. Back out here once again. My attention is going to be turned a lot towards that B side of the map here. So I want to see how strong these holds can be more consistently. Felt like last time it was very easy to separate those 2 defenders on the bonus. Can't afford to be the same here. But this time it's going to be Wiz with his A1S as opposed to AWP and playing very passive on that A side, where he should be tested pretty early. Maybe not. Maybe not so interested.
Huh. They're thinking about it. Instead, want to return to middle. OG was there with the bomb, though, in A main. Still shows the posturing. And they're going to go back anyways. Down to the straight mid play. And then out A. Trying to work out mid right now is Nyx, but it comes down to Tender realistically here at the back boxes. Oh, and he could have a nasty swing awaiting. Does that Molly spread to him? It does. He pops up for none. Excellent clearing here by Lag. They check their boxes. They're into that A site.
Here, trying to figure out a way to plant that bomb is never an easy task, but that's coverage from Nyx. Perfectly placed. A kill comes through at the very least from Seb's rifle, but on the outside looking in on this retake.
Yeah. 24 HP for Wiz. No hits. Oh, but some backs turned there. Micro does strike in from Donut. But then everyone swings their rifles around now out of ammo. This is a lost cause. Micro goes down. 4-1 here for a Lysa game. They vanquish another gun round.
Beautiful work right there. Just clinical. It's so explosive. And even when they're scaling, it feels like everyone is locked in. You can see it. I mean, even from Tinder's point of view, as they move forward, it's like inch their way and start clearing out these angles. Everyone knows where their attention needs to be put, and as the execution comes through, everyone is able to spring into action. Excellent utility usage on that execute, and it's back to back where I think these T sides are just way too strong from Lag here. Carpe Diem cannot find answers right now.
Oh, and there's a lineup too. It just looks too easy for this team. As the kills come in a queue. There we go, and Nyx is gonna keep it going. There, he's on for the ace. He hasn't taken a single bullet of damage. Oh, yeah. And he'll get it. 5 rounds for Lag.
That's an ace with the Mac 10 as well. Cash farmed up.
Whew.
Just flying through those checks right there, and that's a dream anti-eco. As good as it gets. No casualties. Perfect read on the situation there, and your Mac 10, your one Mac 10 finds every last kill.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And for a player who's You know, felt a bit shaky on map 1. He is back. And then base just continuing. What a call here from Lag. Off spawn call into the B site and Seb out in the open once more. Seb has just been caught out on numerous different occasions. Experitive even just holding deep T spawn. He does get smoked out though, and this does allow the flank to come through. Nick's gonna need to back up his teammates here as it has gotten messy. Retaking the site already here for Carpe Diem.
That's gotten very, very messy. Till these smokes are out. Micro in between with bomb dropped on the site. They're waiting for these smokes to fade before they actually make their move on in.
Oh, and they do. Oh my goodness. A single burst out of Nick's instant headshot. Micro will play his hand. As he's going to charge forward, but quick trade from Nyx. Keeps this in contention for Lag as they're up 6-1 now. Crazy round, but they stabilize.
As long as you're able to close it out. That's all that matters. Even if there's lots of casualties, it's another gun round here. This time, you know, you have Wiz on the op, but bold calls right there, rolling through for the fast B-side play back-to-back. And Lag just wielding some of that momentum-based calling over and over again. Micro and MP9. Tag's been hurt. Gonna have to fly forward, and he's getting met by spam. Oh
no! What has happened?
Wow. What? How did that even happen? What was the timing there?
I don't know, Cole. Brazen aggression. And then Tender collects as well on the 5-7. Everything gets awkward. Smoke about to fade onto Seb, though. He's got to be in a good position. And, well, back of the pillar. Swinging around, he gets his. And then the follow-up. The half by working out for Carpe Diem.
That's what they needed right there. A little bit of good fortune to start that round off, but finish strong as well. And definitely couldn't afford to continue to let this Lag roster run away with this half. So a good shutdown. A great way to start a recovery effort on this defense.
But they're going to need a whole lot more. And it does start off, with one right back through the smoke. Experative takes down the heaviest hitter by far.
Instant trade. On with a flash. Cheetah beats down on the side. But they lose out. Another 1-for-1 trade. End of the day, Micro just making the great escape out of there as far as possible.
Ooh, he's coming back through. Bold to be spamming. What's the worst that can happen? They can spam you back?
That would never happen to me. They would never shoot back.
That's because I'll just take him down on the first go.
That's what they're going to need right now. And again, on the outside looking in, with limited deterrence utility on this B site proper. So, into the site they go, and it's just spam through the smoke that they're hoping to get away with. Buy time for this late position from Wiz to come through. A lot of is connected here, but the bomb plant's still going to be secured.
And can Nyx make it into cave is the question. Maybe needed now as Wiz finds the double. Now Nyx, back of the site. They are just going to crush him, surely. First kill, though, on a Micro. Maybe the second. Surely not. Nyx now in the 1-versus-1. Round the site, just having to play with the angles. He knows where Seb is. He's going to make the move and find a 1-versus-3. Life's a game, can't lose.
Oh my god, Nyx. That is absolutely sick. Oh my god. The quick pre-fire on that last headshot. The ability to adjust for Wiz and catch him on the secondary. This team in the clutch is ice cold right now.
And if any shred of momentum was there for Carpe Diem, they have just been handed a soul-crushing play. from Nyx. That was supposed to be it. Those are two excellent kills out of Wiz. They're all for naught.
Nick said, I got 3 excellent kills for you. And that's what they needed. Just one extra step, and it was just ripped away from them. Tender here. Forward positioning. And look who his target is.
Oh, around the corner. OG Wizard just barely misses that shot. And Tender will pull the ripcord, pull the parachute. Last game will not move forward. Oh, this is the ambitious angle from Micro. But it could work. Contact walk into this angle with a trade fragger in late. There goes the first and the second. Does Nyx have another one in him? Be forced to leave here. Just fishing for a wall bang, but not gonna get it. Advantage is Carpe Diem.
Yeah, desperate to find anything that can make this round a little bit easier. Low HP and man deficit is not what you like to see. 30 seconds left as the clock just keeps on chugging.
Oh, is Sparative going to clear his corners? He does not. And that is all. Based on 16, going to back away. Okay, already a 7-round T side is strong enough. Some say.
Yeah, I mean, Ancient. You never know how it's going to play out. I feel like we've seen good halves from both ends. But, like you said, I believe that Carpe Diem, some of their best work comes through. At least from this series, on their T side here, their defense has just looked slightly disjointed, and as you said, when it comes to like switching up IGLs and things of that nature, I think actually sorting out your CT side can sometimes be the more difficult side of things, right? Where it does require that cohesion and it does require that ability to aggress, and if you don't have someone who's able to operate well in the mid round and is super used to that position, it can be difficult to recover. So maybe running into that problem right now, but at least that last round and maybe 2 more could save them. It's going to be, as long as Carpe Diem win here, 4 spies for the last 2 rounds for lag. Never a good spot to be in. Sort of economic state.
Oh, and this is with the quickness already blasting through middle. Tender forced away. Or are they trying to sell some presents here? Oh, everyone surrounds Cave like sharks here. Micro is not safe. 3 players on either side, and will just miss out on finding Experative. Going back in for a re-clear in middle, however, and it's going to work out well. 5 players collapse on through, and quickly it's a 2 versus 5.
Gotta be careful here with that low HP bar. Still able to stay kicking.
Yeah, but they need more than just a plant.
Yeah, they probably needed that kill, right?
Yeah. Not looking good here for Lysa game, facing down so many players and a boatload of utility. Nyx doesn't convert on the first Eagle headshot. We need a 1v5, and that isn't happening. Retake here for Carpe Diem. We're going to best that force buy, and 7-5 looking like it could be on the docket.
So it feels like that. And closer to that mark here. At least with that bomb plate, could have a better force buy than previously, but good shutdowns here towards the tail end. At least operating with a tad bit of momentum heading into the second half could be good news. Some good calling all the way through from lag, though. They look to give us one more good read here. Walking into the Wiz AWP. See how quickly he can register this. What is using that utility for, right? Just to buy some time, you would think. Maybe for his teammates in middle to take space, and well, that's kind of mission accomplished because now Tinder's been able to toss some utility towards middle and actually get back into a defensive stance on this A side.
Yeah, you have Micro constantly refreshing information as well. This is all signs pointing to a potential A execute for Carpe Diem. Late mid utility going through.
Mid smoke miss though.
And now blasting on past. Wiz will pick up the second. Tender gets the first. And it is a disjointed play. As Tender's just gonna mop things up. Seb with the trade and Nick's late out middle. Predicated on some success. Couldn't find any. And so 3 in a row towards the tail end for Carpe Diem. It's not looking bad.
No, I mean, definitely workable here. They can manage to wield some of that late momentum here in good rounds, but I will say again, more clutch factor looking well in Lag's favor over the grand scheme of this half. So if they can carry forward that to the second, some excellent resiliency shown out here. But this is where I think Carpe Diem, if their calls were as good as they were in Mirage, that is going to be what they need to lean on here long term here. But this clutch in particular, man. That's what got what I thought would have been the shutdown, but actually no more rounds from that point, surprisingly.
Yeah, we'll see if that can shape up the game. We're going to toss this one off to a halftime break. 7-5. And we are back. 7-5 here. Life's a game. Up 7-2. And they had some amazing clutch factor. A 1 versus 3. We thought it would shut down the momentum, but Carpe Diem came back and they were angry. Can they keep it up? Well, a silent single bullet headshot out of Nyx will find that opening advantage here on the pistol.
Yeah, just a quick little chirp and Lake is down instantly. They heard it was a flash and a buddy hit the deck. They're gonna follow in his footsteps though, and there's a bit of a vulnerability, at least in terms of how they take this. The sacrifice of control. They're gonna scale quickly, and you know Nick X has a whole lot more to do than that one shot he just rattled off right there. Yeah, he's starting to head his way.
Oh, back big box, not good enough. Micro runs him down. They're gonna plan for CT spawn, but maybe that's gonna cost them a bit. Taking the duels in the head-to-head, and then that dual Berettas arrive. Start to rattle it off the shots. Micro spotted towards the back of default right here. Surely to be ran down, or is he? He spins around for the 3-piece, and Carpe Diem salvaged the pistol.
That's one of those pistols that'll get you rolling right there. That'll get you very excited as they close it out with confidence, man. Looked like, you know, in that trade position right there, that all you needed was a couple of shots, Micro, without even armor right there. But those shots just don't connect. And in the late rounds there, when you're getting collapsed in on the ability to quickly react, it means a lot. So saving that pistol and having the perfect read despite the man deficit, it's a confidence builder here, and it's going to allow for a very quickly activated tied scoreline here, unless things go way too wrong.
And maybe they do.
Zeus.
Oh.
Oh no!
No! Dang it, Cole. And Micro is just gonna play cat and mouse here. Mac 10 wide swing. He'll eventually go down. Smart to pass it off to the Opper. 1 kill out of OG Wizard. Might just get enough. Fund that up, and there you go. 2,600 in the bank. And 2,400 coming through in the next. That is what we call not all bad.
Give us one more. Extra 600 can go a long way. And it looks like they're super interested in ripping that Mac 10 out of his hands in some form of fashion.
Terrorists win.
But prioritizing his life. That opportunity around that corner. Now he knows he can't take that duel again. We're all tied up at 7s. Chance for a glass cannon here with the AWP if OG Wizard was super interested. And honestly, for a first gun round, it'd make a lot of sense if you were to pull that out. Rifle instead, and extra utility, which also makes a lot of sense. And Nick X is actually going to wield the Mac 10. He bought no utility, so I imagine he's going to be leading in an aggressive movement here.
Oh,
no.
I think... Oh, yeah, you know, this is fair enough. He's going to be holding down the fort, but not good enough with the Mac 10. On the elevated angle, needed a headshot there. And frustratingly so, it doesn't quite work out, but this brawl does. Breaking the smoke, and 3 kills come through it. Now, Micro is going to step forward into this angle. He'll get quickly traded, and this brawl has settled in a 1v2.
And now they have space here. They've been able to encapsulate the bomb, and eventually this flank gonna be right in on. It's already right in on.
Wow.
They can just catch it. I don't know how it was that easy to recover. I don't even think Carpe Diem did anything wrong, but that HE and the smoke and the triple swing, the conviction from lag, almost instant. Once that first kill comes through, zero hesitation, and into the collapse on that A side. It ends up saving them the worry there. And honestly, what I would say out of gates is a pretty poor setup of placing Nick X with a Mac 10 alone, and so far removed from his teammates, gets saved by such quick reactions.
Damn. Like, that is... I mean, that is a testament to the trust in the teammates there. For, like, really functioning as a unit. They say, hey, I'm breaking the smoke. The other 2 players do not say a word. They jump in next to him, and they go in for the triple swing. Also a missed house smoke. That is going to be exploited. Lake going to step forward. Nade to it. No kills just yet. As base going crossing out in the open. Somehow there are no kills here. No one wants a duel except for Nick X.
He wants one bad enough to pull all the way through on a flank. The issue is he's got an MP9 long range now.
And he's just called in the 4-man stack. This is brutal.
Red Room Smoke shouldn't be selling any fakes here, but it is actually... No, he's coming back. He realizes trust in Nick X's calls there. Just a split second of hesitation, but he's back in time here to offer up more resistance on this B side.
Oh, base is going to step forward. He's going to plant his feet. They know what's coming through. It is going to be the execute here with 20 seconds remaining. Base is now... Oh, that's critical. Volley misses, but Base is kind of caught out in the open there. With no teammates, no support. Bomb to get planted, but the smoke spam is devastating. They'll get the digits in, but at what cost? Also, maybe some space. Maybe they can get back into this, except another kill through the smoke. Lake laser down. And Seb with nowhere to run on 7 HP. A swing to come through, though, and helped out there by Wiz. Seb gets the tuck away. Time ticking now, as Seb won't be able to quite pick it up, but it got close.
I mean, probably the best possible outcome. I mean, winning it obviously would have been better, but cracking through 4 defenders and being able to separate them so easily was very valuable. I think the only problem they ran into was they just couldn't they couldn't stop getting smoked or spammed straight through the smoke. They just kept on getting plucked apart right here. You're going to see in the highlights. 2 quick picks straight to that smoke. I believe there was even a third as well. So that doesn't help. But as you said, game plan execution is strong from Carpe Diem. I just think a little bit unlucky in that sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's been that consistent factor here. I think Lag have played the better micro-level Counter-Strike when it's come to the clutches. And the teamwork on the fly. Carpe Diem with the game plan. And I think it's worked out again. Nyx is sole defender. Gonna have to let them pass. That's gonna be a simple bomb plant with no contest until a couple kills come through. They try to charge in for some extra space. They're gonna get punished. 2 players out towards long. 1 going for the big swing. And that leaves Micro in a 1 versus 3. Armorless as well. Get some damage in. Nearly the kill. But a retake here for Lag. Double digits and 3 rounds away from eliminating Carpe Diem from Season 47.
Closer and closer to that mark. Finding themselves locked in at 10. Shutting down that big investment right there. Or half buy rather, and leaning in on what is going to be another powerful purchase. Still like not super stable on Lag side of things, but they just keep on figuring out ways to win rounds to the CT side. So it's challenging here. OG Whisper with some nice footwork.
Okay. A to the smoke. This is looking like a double swing. Grinded, ready to go. Nothing seen just yet. Instead, look at this. Oh, Nyx inside of the smoke. Oh, he's gonna have a freebie, maybe even 2. As Seb, oh my goodness, he just readjusts. Now base turn though to step forward, and he'll get headshotted out. We got a 3 versus 3.
Unrelenting aggression here, and it's not stopping. They're pushing on the A extremity here once again, and they're pushing up close in these smokes, and it's just ever present in the server. Now they're going to call through a flank for Experative, it feels like, and then OG Wizard is going to join forces up on this B side. So it's another one of these rounds here where Carpe Diem may not know it, but Lag do. They've got exactly where you are boxed in now.
Yep, they're up. OG Wizard as well comes through. Are they ready for this big flank? Needs to start activating. As, oh my goodness, Nyx with hardly anywhere to stand. Will find some safe haven, but he's about to get ran down by Wiz. Surely, flashbang through, but he finds the kill full blind. And then Experative activates on the flank. And somehow, someway, Lag are actually up players here with 11 HP. Seb needs a 1 versus 3. That is not happening. And can you believe it, Lag? They don't lose a single player in the 3-on-3.
It's just flawless right there. Again, I just don't know how it looks that easy. That perfect flashbang, but then the full blind spray that connects. It just feels like nothing for this team can really go wrong in these late round scenarios. They're gonna figure out some way, despite all the efforts here, despite the perfect utility usage, to recover this round. I can't believe it. Another brutal late round that gets closed out by a lag, and now just 2 steps away. 2 rounds away from closing out.
Oh. Well, that's going to be a bit of a hurdle in those steps. Using that opening pick. Oh, Nick's also dropping away. He's going to fall all the way back to CT spawn and even concede the A site. Biting down on the B site, but nothing gives. Even with a bit of an awkward CT smoke. I mean, it does smoke out the back default boxes, so maybe it is optimal at the end of the day. Bomb to get planted and a 4-man save coming through from the likes of the game. They're going to fight another day.
Well, impressive stuff with the one opening pick and then catching him on the gamble. Not a bad idea from lag. I feel like if you're sticking with your gut, you're probably right at this point if you're this squad. This time around, not quite the case. And even still, they're into the round leads them for surviving, which is one of the better ways to lose a round. So many saves, and an op can be brought into this round as well for OG Wizards. Toss that AK over to Nyx potentially and get yourself on it. There it is. There's the trade deal.
There you go. Offer accepted, Cole. As Lysa Game back in with the buy. We'll see what the next wear Carpe Diem decide to offer. As well, Lysa Game don't really have any of that. Ton of damage, at least with the mollies. Force utility from the T side. And even more pressure. And they earther through, especially with the wall banks again from Micro. They try it this time. Lake posted, and Base has no idea. Bomb has been planted. Carpe Diem win another round right off the bat.
Quickly, backs turn, 1 casualty on the fadeaway, could be more. OG Wizard able to at least keep himself safe, but not guaranteed here. Lake's already on the hunt again. Not expecting these sort of forward positions, although it doesn't matter the quickness. And those shots do roll through. Nick X is fighting hard for his life right there with those 2 kills. But Carpe Diem string 2 in a row and make it look easy in both of these rounds. Micro. Last time around, it was just 1 wall bang headshot. This time he does the same thing. He gets 2 back-to-back opening duels through the wall.
I mean, this is gotta be a little bit frustrating for the beat defenders right now. Nyx has been an absolutely insane anchor, but just getting deleted twice now by the same guy. It looks like I got enough. They're actually going to speed things up. Micro forced into the fight. They're just charging head first. They just basically headbutt each other. Base deals with them. And now OG Wizard out middle, not going to miss that. With the headshot, he comes back in for the second. Wants to eliminate Carpe Diem from ECL.
My God, what a double up right there. OG Wizard fast on the flicks, and now he has coverage for A main as well. Just blind spam through the Molotov flames, do the trick, and it's one last connection from OG Wizard. This guy is quick as can be.
He is the original. He is the OG. Right there. I mean, he has not had a lot of opportunities this series, but boy, when he gets one, he seizes it. That's the guy who's next up down here.
This is what I think Laggy been doing so well throughout this entire series, is as soon as the, you know, I almost think they fall into this like trap of, you know, calming down a little bit and slowing down. They can pick that pace right back up. They never stay slow for very long.
Oh my gosh, Mix almost went down again. But this time, Based is on the scene and safe pair of hands. Will quickly equalize.
That's big. Lose their opera early. OG Wizard hits the deck quick. But that equalization is fast. Now they start to spread out a little bit on this defense. Plenty of time to work around this for Carpe Diem. Looks like they're leaning through the donut into that A side here, but the bomb is so isolated here. It comes down to this fight. It could be.
This could be it. Walking forward though, and he finds it. That's the bomb. Carpe Diem have to scramble. Nick X just needs to preserve his life. He hears them all trying to chase him down through A main, and now needs to hold the line. And he does with another headshot. Micro will quickly trade, and well, it's chaos here. Blake will bring it back as he usually does. We've got Base in the 1 versus 2, but they're taking their sweet time on the plant. Molly's about to fade. Base about to move forward with an isolated 1v1. A couple backs turned as well. Trying to catch the retreat. And he should just know. He should know that both players are inside of Donut. That is the assumption. He's going to rock with it. He even has a Molly. He could utilize this. Molly can be deployed. Micro to swing, but he does land the shots. Life's a game. Almost steal that one.
Wow. We'll strip it away from them. So close to closing out. And Nick X fighting hard on that A side all over the place. Dropping the bomb as well, but Lake in the fadeaway piecing up those duels as that second prong. He didn't show any hesitation. He knew his mission. He was able to play it Gordon in business. OG Wizard back out with the AWP. This time doesn't hit the jump though. Oh, and not the man you want down early. The one that saved you last round here. Tinder follows suit.
Oh, fake reload here. Base knows what's up. Not messing around. Micro gonna push past, and there you go. Done. Wrapped up. 2 versus 5. Bomb still in spawn. Life's a game looking to steal the season away from Carpe Diem. As just new players keep emerging in this scene to prove themselves.
A turnaround right here from what was a fantastic run for this Carpe Diem squad last season around. Gonna get shut down early in this playoff season. And it's Lag that filled the feed. A roster that's been working hard all throughout 2024, playing those local lands, getting so many reps in. They're gonna kick off the playoff victory.
Oh, working hard for it. And it pays off. I mean, for Carpe Diem, it's a tough season for sure. But for Life's a Game, they are back. They are the newest names here in North America. They're going to advance forward in the lower bracket.
Exciting stuff, man. That's a big victory here for Lag. More opportunities to play here, more opportunities to gain some steam here throughout this lower bracket. And I know it's tough to make much of an assessment past this point here, but being able to overcome some of the difficulties, the calls that we saw, the lack of hesitation that we saw from this squad when things got a little difficult here. I feel like this roster has all the makings of a team that can continue to impress throughout this lower bracket run.
Yeah, this is, I mean, again, just a lot of X factor with this team. You're talking about it. and cohesion and really the ability to play with momentum, the squad. I mean, that 1 versus 3 from Nyx in that first half was absolutely devastating. OG Wizard turning up with rounds like this. That's a team that can go deep in playoffs.
I couldn't agree more. Could not agree more here. They can continue to do damage, continue to replicate these results here. I mean, today they've got a lot to be proud of. I think that first map was very difficult, especially overcoming some of their demons throughout this regular season. A map that they just struggle with so much throughout the entirety of it. And then being able to come back in a second half, it felt like, you know, you wouldn't have blamed this team for struggling and just calling it a day and saying, hey, we're gonna have to pull this through in a reverse sweep, lean on Ancient as our map here and try and take it to a third. But being able to fight back like that, even despite losing that second pistol, I just, a lot of credit given to this lag roster. And you know, for Carpe Diem, obviously an early exit, earlier than they would have liked, but
yeah,
a team that they're looking to build up here more, and I think stability could go a long way with the squad.
Yeah, I think they didn't really have that this season for the Carpe Diem squad. They're trading out their IGLs for various different players. Walco left mid-season for Party Astronauts, if you can remember as well. Like, this team constantly had to rebuild, chop and change players. So I think they can even be happy with making a playoff performance, especially for a player like Lake. He should be able to have another crack at it as our Kadia player to watch tonight. Cole, again, another decent map out of him, but just not the result he's looking for.
Yeah, and I think for him, it's a decent series in which I think he displayed what he is capable of, especially, you know, in the second to last round where he was really showing that he could pull the rounds from the brink here. His T sides were super sharp from him. Fortunately, some of those defenses, whether it was him trying to pull through a lot of retakes there, that was where I think maybe more the struggle was, and it was more of the struggle here for the entirety of Carpe Diem, in which I think they found some difficulties in that lack of stability.
Yeah, I think again, a lot of good game plans, but just simply not the cohesion, not the level that we saw from Life's a Game, who have played so many maps on LAN and who have really entered in the grind as this 5-man unit. They deserve it. They are pushing themselves forward. But over on the other streams, which are still certainly going on, and Nouns are still battling versus NRG. Party Astronauts are still taking on Elevate. There is still tons more ECL action for you guys to tune into tonight. So that's going to do it for us here on the C stream, but A and B is still running. Go ahead and check those out while you still can, and see you guys tomorrow. Peace.